If you listen to anyone who's spiritually awake, they'll always say the same thing. They'll always say everything is a manifestation of your mind. That all that you see, all that you experience, and all that you are is created from you, by you, through you, is what they will say. But what about the rest of us? The 99.999% of people that aren't spiritually awakened. What happens with our mind? What happens with our reality? What actually is it? So I'm going to give you a theory. This is just a theory that probably a lot of people have come up with. It's just one way of interpreting things here. If you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, if you've ever seen the movie The Truman Show, it's kind of like that. So you kind of can get an idea where this is going. But I had this dream the other night where someone who I know in my real life, who I haven't seen in many years, was drugging me with some kind of sedative, injecting me, and I was going back to sleep. I was waking up and then, oh, quick, he's waking up, let's drug him. And I went back to sleep. When I went back to sleep in the dream, I woke up here in this reality where the world is on fire and everyone's killing each other, and it's kind of dark times right now, right? Planet Earth, 2025, kind of dark times right now, right? Not a very good experience for many people. It's actually really dark. And we start to question, how could this actually be, right? And if you ask that question yourself, honestly, you'll probably come up to the doorway of spiritual awakening. That's one way of getting there. It's how I got there. But another way of looking at it is, well, how can it actually be like this? This is not really quite the way that it's going to be forever. Like, we're not just going to keep lying, killing, stealing from each other forever. And that's the end of the human story, right? It's more than that, right? We're not just going to be getting really sick and dying and having lots of pain all the time, and that's the experience. Like, that can't be. There's no way. It's got to be better than that, right? Right. So once we start questioning and doubting just because things suck so badly for many people, and if you're having a great life, you're not thinking about this, so whatever. But if you're having a shitty life, you're like, wait a minute, this can't be fair. This can't be right. How can it be this way? So one way of looking at that is, what if it is like the Matrix? What if there is another reality where, in fact, you're being kept in the dark? You're being drugged to sleep, in a sense. Again, this is just one way of looking at it. It's a story, right? It's not necessarily the only way of looking at it. I'm not trying to scare you. But what if there is another reality in which you're being kept asleep and kept in the dark? And I think a lot of people who have gone into the sort of wokeness that's happened in the last 5 years, 10 years, politically speaking, conspiracy theories and all that, kind of probably get on this vibe. There's many levels of it, right? And there's infinite levels of reality. That's kind of how trippy it is. And so what if you are actually being kept in the dark by something or someone or whatever it may be? And this reality that you're living right now actually is fake. That's why it's so ridiculous. That's why it's so absurd. That's why the news stories you're seeing right now are so absurd that no one even knows what to do or say about it, because it actually doesn't make any sense. And you're like, this is not human. This is not love. This is not what we are. Scratching your head. Something's off. I'm missing something here. And so maybe that's what it is that you're being kept asleep, right? For some reason. And that it does bring kind of a fear into the awakening process, because, well, what if you do wake up eventually and realize, oh my God, something horrible has been happening this whole time? And isn't that how it is when we've been asleep, traumatized for various reasons? And we wake up from that stupor, that slumber, and recognize, oh my God, I had no idea. I forgot. I didn't know all these things that had happened that were so horrible that I actually had to shut down, right? So that's another way of looking at this. Is not that there's some sinister force that's keeping you drugged to sleep in some other alternate reality, but also your brain or your mind could be protecting you by using its mental defense mechanisms to separate you, block it out so you don't see what's happening around you. But it's kind of more fun and more like spooky and interesting to think, oh, because when I woke up from that dream and the person was about to inject me with this drug, and I was like, No, 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 not this again. No. And I forced myself to get out of the dream and I woke up into this. And I was like, no, not this again. I cannot believe I'm here again. With my chronic pain and trauma and broken body and my disability, I have to do this again. No, I want the other reality where I'm free, right? That's kind of what we want. We want that freedom. And you look at the news and it's so bonkers. It's like, how could this possibly be? And again, there's so many different ways of understanding it, through compassion, through wisdom. There's lots of ways you can accept the way that things are, right? And also, hold on a second. It's like, well, what if there's another way? What if there's a really like a light at the end of the tunnel and we just go towards that light and things are actually much better than we realized that they were? You know, there's got to be that hope somewhere in there, that human element of hope. We've become so technified, or I don't even know what you call that, but this whole phone, internet, social media, shopping mall simulation experience that we've all been fucking unconsentingly. I mean, we all sign the forms every time we download an app or go to a website. We're all signing thousands of pages of legal documents that basically tell you that you're screwed. You're like, oh, okay, I'll be that. Sounds great. Take everything. You know, take everything from me. It's fine. I don't need it, right? Which at the end of the day, you don't. But to be honest, the way we're living right now with this like parasitic, capitalistic, it's kind of problematic a little bit, I would say. It's hard to break free. It's hard to wake up, right? Our brain's like, oh, no, don't think about it. Don't. And honestly, you can't think about it. That's so. What's so interesting is like if you cut through all the blah 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 jabber that I just said, forget the whole thing that I just said. You can't think about it, about waking up or about freedom. You can't think about it. You can't become it. You can be. You can just be. That's all. It's like one and there's no other. You can be. That's it. And it's as simple as that. But it is certainly fun to talk about these weird dreams and conspiracy theories. But it's actually not, I mean, that's one avenue. I mean, that's one way to learn, one way to wake up is going through the whoa, crazy machinations in the mind. But machinations, I think it's pronounced. But just be. It's all, I mean, there's nothing else that's funny. I want to say something after that sentence, but there isn't. Just be. Just be. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, just be. Oh, right. You could be happy, but even that's too much. Just be. Oh, just be. Oh, right. Okay. So that points to the direct experience of you. That is it. It's all that there is. It's the only message that I have to say. Everything else is nonsense. I was like, I want to make these videos with all these really cool conspiracy theories. At the end of the day, though, it just kind of falls apart, right? Because you're still like, yeah, I woke up from a crazy dream and I thought that I was being drugged. But then I'm here and I have this experience and I hear my voice talking. I see my hands waving around in the air. You know, you can't deny it, right? If it's a dream, if it's fake, it's very convincing. When you do wake up, you wake up, but can't force it. So like I'm knocking on that wall. Where is it? Behind me? Whatever. Bam, bam, bam. Pew. And yet I'm still here. So did I break through? Did I not? I don't know. You tell me. You might see things differently than I do, right? We all think we're seeing the same thing, but actually, are we? Are you seeing a white wall here, or are you seeing some other crazy shit that I'm not seeing? You could be seeing all kinds of stuff, right? And that's the fascinating thing. And if we can get comfortable with that weirdness of reality where like people's perceptions could be very, very different. What if it's not all the same? What if we don't actually all see the same things? What if we don't actually perceive the same reality in a very fundamental way, not just, oh yeah, we all see different shades of white. No, what if you see something completely different? What if you see more things here than I do? Right? What if you see something else? But we cannot communicate that unless the other person's also on that wavelength too. So you can't show someone something that they don't know how to see. You know, that's why it's a self-discovery. It's why it's a journey of the self, you know, self-fulfilling, self-prophecy, self-knowledge, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You can't have people can try to point the way, they can try to point things out, but does it actually work? I don't know. I've never had that experience of someone else pointing something out to me and me saying, aha, now I see. It's never worked that way for me, but maybe it's different. Your mileage may vary. Your mileage may vary, my friends. Anyways, yeah, this video is bye.